4 companies own almost every single gaming website you've ever visited. IGN, PC Gamer, GameSpot, Kotaku, Polygon, Eurogamer. They all look like competitors. Different logos, different takes, and different writers. But follow the money and you'll start to see the same names at the top. My name is Riley Fox, head of Spill.gg, and let's break it down. Let's start with the biggest, Ziff Davis. They own IGN, also known as the front page of gaming. In 2024, IGN bought Gamer Network, absorbing Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, VG247, and Rock Paper Shotgun overnight. When you're reading competing perspectives from IGN and Eurogamer, you're really just reading 2 departments of the same company. And it's aggravating because I grew up reading these sites and checking reviews thinking I was getting a nuanced take, but I wasn't. And neither were you. And it's the same executives who decide what gets covered and what gets buried. We're sold this illusion of choice in gaming media, but it's all fabricated. There is no choice. Then there's fandom, backed by private equity firm TPG. In 2022, they bought GameSpot, Metacritic, Giant Bomb, and Game FAQs. So the site that aggregates review scores now owns the sites publishing those same reviews. And Valnet just bought Polygon from Vox Media. Polygon, once the face of new games journalism, now sits alongside Game Rant and Screen Rant in their content factory. But the most telling story is Kotaku's. Sold 4 times, each sale has meant more independence lost. Jason Schreier, one of gaming's best investigative journalists, left in 2020 citing dissatisfaction with the direction. Translation, corporate owners were killing the journalism. So corporations own gaming sites. Why does it matter? Well, let me tell you about Jeff Gertzman, GameSpot's editorial director, industry legend. He reviewed Kane and Lynch, Dead Men, and gave it a 6 out of 10, an honest score for a mediocre game. But the problem? The publisher Eidos had bought massive ad campaigns across GameSpot, site takeovers, banners, everything. Days later, Gertzman was fired, and GameSpot tried to cover it up. But here's the thing. Years later, Gertzman confirmed what everyone already suspected, that the ad money won and honesty lost.
Plain and simple, money got involved, he didn't do his job, he got fired. And the funny thing is, that's how life is anywhere, where you work. You have to be corporate, you have to be like a puppet.
Every editor knows which publishers buy the most ads. How many critical paragraphs got softened just to be safe? The truth is, we'll never know. And that's much scarier than Gertzman's firing. At least he got fired for being honest. How many people just aren't honest anymore? And before you go, but Riley, that was 2007. Giant Bomb, the site Gertzman founded after getting fired, had to buy itself out of fandom just this year because of editorial interference. The cycle never ends, it just changes logos. Here's the thing. The Gertzman firing, it's the one that we know about. The real damage is invisible. For example, I recently hopped on the Battlefield 6 hype train after seeing lots of positive reviews and playing the free demo. I ended up buying the full game and I really enjoyed getting sweaty with the boys. But then Arc Raiders came out and it was half the price with half the marketing budget. And all of a sudden, I'm not booting up Battlefield anymore. Even though it's a great game, it makes me wonder how much I was influenced without even knowing it. How many of the reviews that I saw were paid, and how much of the hype was manufactured? Would I have even bought the game if it wasn't plastered everywhere? If you want to hear those stories and more, make sure to hit like and subscribe, or check out our website, spill.gg. Publications like IGN or GameSpot have quotas that they need to fill. They have pre-approved lists of what they can and can't cover. Because publishers aren't just making games, they're buying ads and paying the bills. So instead of hard-hitting journalism, we get the IGN 7. No matter how broken or predatory a AAA game is, the score hovers around safe. never low enough to upset publishers. Cyberpunk launch on console was a disaster. When I got my PS4 pre-order, the game was so choppy that it was unplayable. I ended up returning my game the very same day and getting refunded like so many other players. Meanwhile, indie devs with zero ad budget, their games get negatively reviewed for the same mistakes that get ignored in AAA releases. But here's where the story turns. Giant Bomb bought itself out from fandom after months of editorial tension. Their message: we're not serving executives anymore. They walked away from guaranteed paychecks to bet on themselves. And they're not alone. Digital Foundry did the same thing with Ziff Davis on August 7th, 2025. They'd rather be small and trusted than big and compromised. And in 5 years, those are going to be the only outlets that matter. Everything else is just press releases with better production value. And then they're spilled. Unlike Digital Foundry and even Giant Bomb, we've never had to cut a buyout check. Independence has been the default since day one. No conglomerate, no equity firm, no corporate overlords. Just editors covering what matters. Whether that's investigating creators' toxic snark communities, exposing child predators on Roblox, or critiquing the future of esports. We're not worried about pissing off a board. We're much more focused on if the audience needs to hear it, and covering stories that other outlets won't touch. So here's the reality check. Every time that you read a review for a game that has ads plastered everywhere, every time a major controversy gets a 200-word write-up, while the new Kim Kardashian Fortnite bundle gets 2,000, there's a reason. The gaming press isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed for advertisers and for corporate owners, but just not for me or you. But here's the good news. Independent outlets still exist. Spilled, Digital Foundry, Giant Bomb, smaller but honest. Not worried about killing an ad deal, just doing journalism. So next time you click on a gaming site, check who owns it, because the words that you are reading are shaped by whoever signs the checks. And if you want the unfiltered version, you know where to find us.